So the biggest thing about this, right, is that we're trying to bring back the social to gaming. So it's not just we're playing together through a screen, but really this is augmenting all those social interactions that we're having. Core value of the company and what we're trying to drive in everything that we do. So as part of that, it's a different aspect. It is truly square, just like normal tabletop gaming. Normal touchscreens have 10 touch points because it's your personal device, you only got 2 hands. Because we are doing this in a social setting, that was a major issue because we were like, well, you can't play like that. So we got rid of that restriction completely. So this is an unlimited touch device. So at the most basic level, that's great, it's unlimited touch. You can play everything digitally. So I can come in here, if I want to spin the dice, I can do that, and then move my pieces, etc. That is the only requirement that's part of our platform is you have to be able to play it completely on this. Yeah. After that, now you can start getting interesting and saying, okay, now I want more of a feeling of throwing the dice, so I can bring these back onto my app and then kick them forward onto the screen, and so it's more like throwing the dice. But what this means as well is I've got private screen information. So I've got any of my cards or private info, anything I don't want public for everybody else to use, I can have that on iOS or Android. But what's really interesting about what our tech does as well is it's not just unlimited touches, right? It's now you're able to use the physical pieces. So now our tech is able to say, okay, I know the X, Y of this piece. More than that, I also know the geometry of that piece. So if you're trying to do something, a game that is more on shape recognition or something like that, absolutely can do that as well. To take that a step further, and especially for RPG or legacy type games, we have the ability to use NFC tagging. So we ship with the bases, generic bases that you can assign and everything like that. And we're working with manufacturers as well. But when we have this enabled, you don't have to register it on the side or anything. You place it on wherever it needs to go. We've got the X, Y, we've got the geometry, and then we've also got the unique ID of that piece, which means the game knows that it's your piece. And beyond that, they also, if it's a legacy game, any of those decisions that piece has made, you're able to take that into further gameplay. Same thing on like an RPG of something. You're able to have all the character information that's associated to that piece. So really opens up the gameplay in terms of a whole new way, especially with the animations and things of that nature. Yeah.
And this game was fully funded, incredibly fast on Kickstarter. I was really impressed with not only how quickly it got people's attention, but how much they wanted, to get it. Yeah. So when will this be shipping?
October this year.
October, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's a long ways out, but it's a fast turnaround as well. Especially in the really where I think a lot of things go wrong on Kickstarter is, especially on hardware, is people don't understand hardware, and it's tough, and it really is. Rob Wyatt, our CTO, I mean, he's done hardware his whole career, and he's just a genius at it. So he's able to speak to all of kind of those pitfalls that typically occur, and more than even just getting it initially made, it's about how do you do a product that's going to be lasting for years and not be able to run out of a certain chipset or something like that, but really take those things into consideration.
So, in our free time, we actually have designed a couple board games. In fact, we have one, a party game. Yeah. It's a card management game that forces physical action.
Awesome.
It's a very mean game. So, the idea of being able to take an independent game and bring it onto your system, I hear you guys are working with a lot of ways to kind of like get that to go with independent creators.
Absolutely. When we first came up with this, we wanted to democratize the process, the game making process, and that was a core reason for doing this. And we do that because this is Android based, so you could write a native Android app and put it on here very easily. If you know Unity or if you know Unreal, same thing. We have plugins and branches there where you can then deploy from there onto here. And in fact, that's what is kind of the nice thing about this. Most digital games today are already on Unreal or Unity. So being able to then take our plugin, reformat for the correct aspect ratio, and then using the SDK to consume that location and identification data, that's really the jux of what you have to do if you've already got something that's in existence today.
So have you guys thought about reaching out to all your fellow Kickstarter friend board game people, being all like, hey, make a version for us?
Absolutely. The challenge here and the reason why we're focused on people that already have digital assets is because it is a new platform and it's a risk. So we don't want somebody to say, hey, we're going to spend $50,000, $100,000 putting together this digital game on a new platform. It's a very big risk. We don't want to ask people to do that. So as part of what we're doing is we're reaching out to those that have digital properties first. As I mentioned, it's a very easy port over if you already have it.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
And we're a huge fan of the Last Board Game.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're proud of you guys as well.
Thank you.
All right.